Okay, thank you very much for rejoining us. It is 1:01 p.m. This is February the 12th, 2025. It is the council meeting for the Township of Muskoka Lakes, and I would like to call the meeting to order. I can confirm a quorum between those present here in the room and zooming in online. I can also confirm that the CAO, the clerk, and other members of our senior management team and our staff are here with us as well. And I would like to start by acknowledging that we want to acknowledge that we are on lands traditionally occupied by Indigenous peoples. Indigenous peoples have cared for this territory for the benefit of future generations, and their stewardship throughout the ages is recognized. Thank you. Okay, today's meeting, as always, is being live streamed and recorded on the Township of Muskoka Lakes website and its YouTube channel. By participating in the open public meeting today, you are consenting to your image, your voice, and your comments being recorded and posted online. As we always do, we sought public input on this agenda at our dedicated email address, tmlpubliccomment@muskokalakes.ca, and we received no comments. I can also acknowledge that we have a supplementary agenda. Came out, I believe, yesterday. It was issued to replace 11.B.1 zoning bylaws, bylaw 2025-021, ZBA-47/24, Marie and Pierre Productions, Inc., roll number 4-16-007-02. Now, finally, before we move forward, does anyone on council have any pecuniary interest that they wish to disclose at this time? Councillor Mazan.
Thank you.
Complete blank.
That happened to me a few times today. Yes, I will be declaring on 2 items on the closed agenda for today. Item 4A, report number 1, and item 4AC.
And as you said, both are on closed. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. Anyone else? I see none. I want to make a couple of notes of explanation. You will hear that these motions have been pre-populated with random movers and seconders. That's done just to expedite our meeting. And secondly, and it's an ask of everyone on council, members shall physically raise their hand until the mayor, me, has confirmed the vote. If the vote is unclear, a verbal vote shall be recorded by the clerk. However, in these circumstances, that will not be considered a recorded vote. All right, so we will move into the substance of the meeting. And we have actually nothing until we get to item number 7, I believe. Is that right? Yeah. 7A is a resolution. Just read the resolution, or we have a pitch? Okay, I'll read the resolution. Moved by Councillor McIntyre, seconded by Councillor Burry. Be it resolved that the mayor and council adopt and enact the following minutes and recommendations contained in the February 12, 2025 consent agenda and direct staff to proceed with all necessary administrative actions. Number 1, January the 15th, 2025 General and Finance Committee minutes and action items 1 and 2. Number 2, January the 15th, 2025 council minutes. Number 3, January the 17th, 2025 Planning Committee minutes and actions items 1 through 3. Anybody with questions or comments? Councillor Bosenworth.
I don't want to be enhancing my reputation as finding errors in the minutes, but a word is missing on page 4 of the planning minutes. Councillor Kent left the meeting at 9:34 a.m. as previously, and the word noted is missing and only returned after the item.
Thank you for that. Okay, anyone else with any other comments? I'm hearing none. Thank you for the input. I will call the vote. All in favor? That carries as amended. Thank you. Good call. Okay, we're moving on to bylaws, general and other planning bylaws. The first one up, I don't know if there's a pitch, is bylaw 2023-001. No, nothing. I'll read a resolution moved by Councillor Kent, seconded by Councillor Roberts. Be it resolved that bylaw 2023-001, being a bylaw to designate the land described as part of Lot 24, Concession 5 in the former township of Cardwell, now in the township of Muskoka Lakes, as being a public highway, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Anyone have any questions on this? Seeing none. Any comments on this? Still seeing none. I will call the question. All in favor? Anyone opposed? That carries. Thank you. All right. Next up. This one is moved by Councillor Nishikawa, seconded by Councillor Edwards. Be it resolved that the flooded original shore road allowance on Lake Muskoka, lying in front of concession 13, lot 29 Monk, designated as parts 3 and 4 on plan 35R-27626-Raftis, roll 9-13-44-010, be declared as surplus land, and that the clerk is hereby instructed to dispose of the said property pursuant to sections 8, 9, and 11 of the Municipal Act 2001, and that bylaw 2025-011 to convey those portions of closed flooded original shore road allowance designated as parts 3 and 4 on 35R-27626 be given 3 readings and finally passed. Any questions or comments? All in favor? That carries. Thank you. Okay, we'll just keep motoring along. Next one is moved by Councillor Zavitz, seconded by Councillor Bosenworth. Be it resolved that the original shore road allowance on Lake Rosso, lying in front of concession 10, part lot 32 Watt, designated as part 1 on plan 35R-16527, Saybold, roll 2-24-052, be declared as surplus land, and that the clerk is hereby instructed to dispose of the said property pursuant to sections 8, 9, and 11 of the Municipal Act 2001, and that bylaw 2025-012 to stop up, close, and convey that portion of original shore road allowance designated as part 1 on 35R-16527 be given 3 readings and finally passed. Any questions? Any comments? All in favor? That carries. Thank you. Going so fast, I'm getting windburn. All right. Next up, we have one moved by Councillor McIntyre, seconded by Councillor Edwards. Be it resolved that the original shore road allowance on 9 Mile Lake, lying in front of concession 13, lot 16 Wood, designated as part 1 on plan 35R-27622-Severn Tulk, roll 8-9-084, be declared as surplus land, and that the clerk is hereby instructed to dispose of the said property pursuant to sections 8, 9, and 11 of the Municipal Act 2001, and that bylaw 2025-014 to stop up, close, and convey that portion of original shore road allowance designated as part 1 on 35R-27622 be given 3 readings and finally passed. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Thank you. Next, moved by Councillor Burry, seconded by Councillor Roberts. Be it resolved that the original shore road allowance on Lake Muskoka, lying in front of concession 9, part lot 26 Monk, designated as parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 on plan 35R-27621-1593534 Ontario Limited, Roll 9-10-047 be declared as surplus land, and that the clerk is hereby instructed to dispose of the said property pursuant to sections 8, 9, and 11 of the Municipal Act 2001, and that bylaw 2025-015 to stop up, close, and convey that portion of original shore road allowance designated as parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 on 35R-27621 be given 3 readings and finally passed. Any questions? Any comments? All in favor? Thank you. Where are we? Okay. All right, next one up is moved by Councillor Nishikawa, seconded by Councillor Bosenworth. Be it resolved that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute a quitclaim transfer for the purpose and effect of correct title of an original road allowance lying between concessions 12 and 13, crossing Island 1 on Skeleton Lake, Watt, designated as parts 4, 5, and 6 on Plan 35R 27687 Greenway roll 2-19-041. And that bylaw 2025-020 be given 3 readings and finally passed. Does anybody have any questions on this one? And comments? All in favor? Thank you. That carries. Next up, moved by Councillor Burry, seconded by Councillor Kent. Be it resolved that bylaw 2025-016, being a bylaw to authorize the use of internet and telephone voting for the 2026 municipal election for the Corporation of the Township of Muskoka Lakes, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Anybody have a question? Anybody have a comment? And all in favor? And that carries. Thank you. I see somebody had a question. Okay, next up, moved by Councillor McIntyre, seconded by Councillor Zavitz. Be it resolved that bylaw 2025-017, being a bylaw to authorize participation in a cooperative purchasing agreement, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Anyone with a question? No. Anyone with a comment? Nope. All right, all in favor? That carries again. Thank you very much. Okay, next we have a motion by Councillor Edwards, seconded by Councillor Roberts. Be it resolved that bylaw 2025-018, being a bylaw to deem lot 13 on Plan M-210 in the former township of Wood, now in the township of Muskoka Lakes, District Municipality of Muskoka, being a lot on a plan of subdivision, is hereby deemed not to be a lot on a plan of subdivision for the purposes of Section 50, Sub 3 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended. Bracket Severn and Tulk, roll number 8-9-084, close bracket, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. We thought of any questions on this one? No? Any Any comments? All in favor? All again, all opposed? Thank you. All right, carried. All right, next up, moved by Councillor McIntyre, seconded by Councillor Mazan. Be it resolved that bylaw 2025-019 to designate site plan control, part of lot 23, concession 3, Medora, Kirkwood Commercial Corp, roll number 6-26-026, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Anybody with any questions or comments? All in favor? That carries. Thank you. All right, next up, we're going to have, I believe, some input from Ms. Crowder. If you would, please. Welcome.
Thank you. Mayor Kelley, good afternoon, members of council. As council may recall, zoning bylaw amendment application ZBA 4724 in the name of Marie and Pierre Productions Incorporated was heard by Planning Committee on January 15th, 2025. This application seeks to deem a waterfront parcel and a backlot parcel separated by a road allowance associated with Judhaven Road as one lot for planning purposes, and to convert a dwelling unit in a two-story boathouse to a sleeping cabin. An existing sleeping cabin on the backlot parcel is proposed to be demolished, and a dwelling unit is proposed to be constructed on the backlot parcel in the future. Planning Committee recommended that the application be denied in part to permit the conversion of the first story of the existing two-story boathouse from a dwelling to a sleeping cabin, and that the remainder of the application be approved, subject to a number of revisions to the bylaw. These revisions have been implemented, and the revised bylaw can be found on pages 2 and 3 of the Supplementary Council agenda. Planning Committee has further recommended that third reading of the bylaw be withheld today until such time as the consent agreement registered on title for the waterfront and backlot parcels be amended to the satisfaction of the township to reflect the following: that the owner agrees not to separately convey or transfer the waterfront and backlot parcels, and that the owner agrees to complete construction of a dwelling on the backlot parcel within 4 years of the date of approval of the bylaw. Further, third reading is being withheld until such time as the sleeping cabin on the backlot parcel is removed to the satisfaction of the township or brought into zoning compliance, and a satisfactory license agreement is entered into with the township for a forest main pump line located beneath the road allowance associated with Judhaven Road. Staff have no further comments, but are happy to assist council with any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nicely done. Does anyone have any questions? Councillor Bosenworth.
And through you, thank you. Ms. Crowder, there's a building that needs to be demolished. Was it a shed? No, it was a cabin, right? Okay. And could it be brought in compliance by becoming a shed?
Through you, Chair. To Councillor Bosenworth. Yes, it could undergo a change of use permit, which is what would be required through the building department. They would have to formally undergo that change and receive a building permit from the building department for that. However, that is an accessory use now established on the property, and the property would have to have a main use established first. So if you received a building permit for a dwelling on the back lot, then you could convert the use of that sleeping cabin to a shed.
Thank you for that. Councillor Nishikawa, are you going to ask? You're thinking about it.
Sorry, thank you. Well, I guess I'm thinking more about the setbacks for the future home. And I was trying to picture Judhaven and where it sits within the scenic corridor. And I don't think it does. I think I'll have to look to David for that one. Or no, maybe not.
Ms. Crowder, can you help?
Through you. This portion of Judhaven Road is not within the scenic corridor. I can confirm that. And I would also state that because of the uniqueness of the situation and the water and front parcel and the backlot parcel being deemed as one, staff have recommended that the bylaw be revised to require a 66-foot setback from the road allowance of Judhaven Road, because under normal circumstances, that 66-foot setback could be from the high water mark, and then you'd end up having a dwelling quite close to the road itself. So,
Sure, Councillor Nishikawa, go ahead.
I just wanted other councillors why I was asking those questions, because in our scenic corridor, historically, we have asked for a building to be pushed back 100 feet. And so that's where I was sort of going at. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else with a question or a comment? No, I'll read a resolution. Moved by Councillor, thank you very much, Ms. Crowder. Moved by Councillor Nishikawa, seconded by Councillor Zabitz. Be it resolved that bylaw 2025-021 to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2014-14 bracket Marie and Pierre Productions, Inc., roll number 4-16-007-02 bracket, be ready first and second time. Anybody with a question or comment? I'll call the question. All in favor? Anyone opposed? That carries. Thank you. Okay. Next up, we're going to move into closed session. Moved by Councillor Edwards, seconded by Councillor Nishikawa. Be it resolved, the council in closed session convene at 1:21 p.m. for A, exemption, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. Section 239 sub 2 sub E of the Municipal Act 2001. And advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Section 239 sub 2 sub F of the Municipal Act 2001. And under that, we have confidential report CCS-2025-02. And number 2, confidential report CCS-2025-05. B, exemption, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. Section 239 sub 2 sub B of the Municipal Act 2001. And that came with confidential report CCS-2025-03. Finally, C, exemption is proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. It's under section 239 sub 2 sub C of the Municipal Act 2001. And that came with confidential report CCS-2025-04. Any questions? All in favor? That carries. We're in closed. Thank you very much.